Metro Manila, CNN Philippines, March 16. The movement of people in mainland Luzon will be severely restricted as Malacañang placed the island under an enhanced community quarantine in an effort to contain COVID-19 infections. All people in Luzon will only be allowed to leave their homes to access basic necessities beginning Tuesday midnight. Mass public transportation services will also be suspended, while land, air and sea travel is restricted. This includes transport network vehicle services like Grab, OWTO and MyCab. Interior Secretary Eduardo Año said local government units can provide transportation for those who are exempted from quarantine and those who will be buying basic needs. We can also require some public utilities to operate a certain number of vehicles commensurate to the number of people who will use, Año said. People who wish to leave Luzon by air have 72 hours to do so, after which all air travel to the island will be restricted. Filipino nationals, their spouses and children, permanent residents and holders of diplomatic visas will still be allowed entry. The movement of cargo to and from Luzon will still be allowed. All establishments in Luzon will be closed, except those that provide basic necessities like supermarkets, convenience stores, hospitals, medical clinics, pharmacies, food preparation and delivery services, banks and water refilling stations. While most work will be suspended, work in the executive branch continues from their homes. Business process outsourcing companies and export-oriented industries will also remain operational, but only with skeletal staffing. Work in the private sector may continue, but only if their employees will work from their homes. Media workers will be allowed to travel within Luzon for 72 hours after the new restrictions take effect. After which, only those who are accredited by the Presidential Communications Operations Office through its International Media Center will be allowed to travel within Luzon. Justice Secretary Menardo Guevara said that those who violate the quarantine may face arrest for resisting and disobeying a person in authority. If they use force in resisting quarantine, they may be arrested for assault. They may also be arrested for violating Republic Act No. 11,332 or the Mandatory Reporting of Notifiable Diseases and Health Events of Public Health Concern Act. The new restrictions came after several government officials called the laxer community quarantine ineffective as social distancing measures it sought to impose backfired with commuters still standing shoulder to shoulder at checkpoints. Cabinet Secretary Carlo Nograles said the government was prompted to declare a stricter quarantine in mainland Luzon due to the World Health Organization's classification of COVID-19 as a pandemic, the rising number of cases in the country and the decision of several local government units to undergo community quarantine. In a taped address to the nation, President Rodrigo Duterte appealed for cooperation and allayed fears that the new restrictions are akin to martial law. Ang kalaban natin kapag martial law ay ang mga taong sumasalakay at naghihamagsik. Pero sa ngayon, ang kalaban natin ay tao at ang sakit na COVID-19, Duterte said. Translation: Our enemy during martial law are invaders and rebels. But now, our enemy is this disease called COVID-19. Philippine National Police spokesperson PB Gen Bernard Banac told CNN Philippines that their 70,000 personnel in Luzon will be at the forefront to remind the public to remain indoors. Some lawmakers expressed support for the stricter measures. This is no longer a health concern, a labor concern, this a national security threat. Senate President Vicente Tito Soto III told CNN Philippines. Kung walang, if there will be no work stoppage and home quarantine, I can't foresee how to reduce the growth of infections compared to the capacity of hospitals, House Ways and Means Committee Cha.